Good morning. Welcome to 4x8 Paper Stuff. This is Beth. Happy New Year. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I didn't make it to 17. I'm only at a little bit squished here, so I'm going to give it a little bit of oomph. And I sent one off to the sketchbook project, which was a national park one, which was at least an inch. So for probably 15 inches. But that's a lot of work in 1 year. I was trying to get to 17 inches for 2017, but it didn't work. But I'm still okay with that progress. Now I'm going to name them all. And I don't have a tripod, I'm just holding this, so it's going to be shaky. That was the iCard a day, and this is my kitchen floor. So iCard a day. This was another challenge. And I don't remember what this one was. But it really is just kind of stuff thrown in there. I think that was like a brain dump sort of. And they're not in order. This is volume 2 of the River Journal, which is what we'll be in tomorrow. So put that aside. This was my summer, which has New York, my sister's visit, our trip to the beach. We rented a house down there. So that was fun. Here's my Halloween prompts, which were from my own prompts. That was fun. Here's my Christmas journal, which is fat, just tied together with a plaid bow. This was volume 1 in the River Journal, which is fat. And the rest of this video might be a flip through that, and a flip through this as far as we've gotten. And maybe a flip through the final I don't know about that. This was my eclipse journal. And this was cool because, in my opinion, it was two-sided. I got this idea from Crafty Hodges on YouTube. It was serious stuff on this side and funny stuff this direction. So that was a lot of fun. That was the eclipse journal. And I don't know why I did this. Were these somebody's prompts? Or Kurtie, you'll remember. No, it was just neat things I did that pertinent to the moon. Whether it was space flight, NASA, the alien that I found in this paint blob, and I named it Here's Looking at You, Kid. And behind it was an ad from a magazine, and this one's come loose too. That was a cockpit looking back down on a bunch of clouds, but I pretended like it was a spaceship. I think it was a watch ad. Oh, these were the South Carolina astronauts. South Carolina is where I live. This was a song, Moon River. That's the opening scene in Tiffany's. Breakfast at Tiffany's, and it's in a Tiffany box. Just all kinds of fun stuff. I'm in South Carolina, which was the last place on the eastern United States to see it. It went right over us. This was Famous Women from California, which I did one of these, Famous Women of South Carolina, which might be this one. Oh no, that was another thing. This was Famous Women of South Carolina, or of California, and I did a bunch of stuff on that. And I like to learn in my journals or take a journey in a journal. So there's some fictitious things, there's some real things, there's some me learning stuff. And that California one was me learning. And it's in a California journal that I got from Urban Outfitters, I think. So that one had to be used. This was the Valentine's Day prompts. I think these were Hobonichi prompts. Or maybe I made up my own prompts. I think I did. But this was during the time that I was at the quilt retreat at Missouri Star Quilts last year. Well, 2017. It will be last year tomorrow morning. And there were some interesting things. There's a Paris, Missouri, because one of my prompts was Paris. I went through Memphis and stopped at the Elvis Presley Museum in Tupelo, Mississippi. There was a lot of neat things that happened in here, just serendipitously, as they do. Oh, that was Ghirardelli chocolate. That was interesting. Anyhow, that's Valentine's Day. What was this one? I do not remember what this one was. Some of it is Missouri, my quilt retreat. This is one I made, I think. I think it was just a bunch of... oh, I think this was the first time I started seeing junk journals, like the ones... this is going to be super shaky, sorry. Like My Life Mitts makes. So I think that one was just a junk journal. What the heck is this one? This was my journey about my road trip to Missouri. That was the calendar. That was Elvis, Tupelo, Mark Twain, which has been a huge influence on me this year, and I never finished it. Oh, maybe I would get 17. No. Oh, this was the South Carolina women, profiles on paper, and strong women in South Carolina. Do you like my Christmas leggings? Anyhow, this one was cool. Strong women in South Carolina, and the whole way through, this is a cookie cutter that I have in the shape of South Carolina, and I used it a lot throughout, including the cover. Okay, this is my Around the World in 80 Days, which is where I got a lot of bulk from. This was a fictitious trip that I took, but it was following a lot of the routes that Viking River Cruises does, because they now have ocean cruises, and this is from their catalog. And at this point in time, I was getting one of their catalogs about every third day. So I cut them up. And this was the premise of starting it, because they have river cruises and now ocean cruises that go everywhere, and I used kind of their map, and then I started getting into it, and I just went from there. And so that is Around the World, and it took me 80 days to do this. Around the World in 80 days. Oh, good Lord. I have a bonus. Hold on. Oh, God, my fat body. I have a bonus because here is a journal from Kirti, who made this for me while we were on our fictitious trip around Peru together. And she made this and sent this to me. So that's another inch. So I really got close. Not close enough, though. It is freezing here, literally. It is... I don't think... We went on a walk about lunchtime, and it was 32. No, 34. 34. I take that back. 34. And tomorrow is supposed to be colder. So we're going to start off the new year freezing. Not as cold as other places, because we don't have snow. My husband's building a ramp for our dog to get up the stairs. Yes, we still have a pumpkin out there. Yes, it's still okay. That was my husband's Christmas present. It's a sign. an outdoor sign that is got a hole in the middle, the shape of Lake Murray, which is where I live. And he's got it on the side of the house because we have a thermometer out there, and then we have another sign on the other side of this window. Anyhow, and yes, we finally got our deck furniture back. They had to be relined. Those linings, one of them ripped, and they didn't have the same fabric anymore, of course, so we had to replace all of them. And they were gone from October 1st till, I think, a week before Christmas. They're back. Okay, I'm going to go put this camera on a tripod so I don't give you any more dizzy stuff, and go through the river journal. Alright, if you hear any loud booms, it's just a stack of paper falling over, probably. And it is cold here. Alright, River Journal Volume 1. It's probably going to be three volumes. And that might be part of a cover, I don't know. Okay, we started, I think I've done this before, but we started where I am, doing seven rivers in the United States that mean something to me, or I've been to, or I want to go to, or are geographically amazing, or a combination thereof. And I'm doing 7 other rivers around the world. I love the number 7 and how it appears everywhere. So I think I've finished 3 American and 2 European. So I started with the first one, the Broad River, which is where I live. It's in South Carolina. And most of my title pages kind of looked like this. I did a lot of layering because I love the look of layering. Can't master it yet, but I'm practicing. And I did a map of how the Broad River fades into the Congaree River and the Santee River and then into the Atlantic Ocean. Lake Murray is right in the center of the state. That's where I am. And the Columbia Canal, which used the Broad River for transporting a lot of things in the early late 1800s, early 1900s. There was cotton, herons. I drew a picture of a heron. This is jelly or paper, splashing of paper on a deli paper, splashing of paint on a deli paper. Congaree National Park is a big part of this river system in this state, and that's one of our 59 national parks in the United States, and it happens to be about a 45-minute drive east from my house. So I went there and I played there. Those are the cypress knees. This is very instrumental. I think it's the largest cypress grove left in the United States. It's something like that. That was a leaf I picked up. This was a piece of book text that I painted out and kept trees, rocks, and limbs, which I thought was kind of cool. Then we went to the Nile, and I did a map there. And this was Wild Colors. This was a lady out of a catalog, and I just did a lot of wild colors. That says Explorer. These were explorers, and I turned them into women explorers. But these were, Osa Johnson was a woman explorer. Amazing. And I've actually got a used book off of Amazon about her. David Livingstone, Henry Morgan Stanley. I'm not going into the political ramifications of everything that has happened in these places now or before or were great because of. That's not my expertise. Papyrus, I did a thing about papyrus. This I did mysterious woman's journal and her ramifications with wardrobe malfunctions in a hot, sweaty environment and a safari in the old days when they had to wear wool skirts and stuff like that. Much what Osa Johnson had to wear. This was just wild. There's another journal entry. About cotton fabrics and the vibrant cotton fabrics in Africa and along the Nile. Another journal page from a fictitious person about Oh, animals. Game animals. And then I tried to draw a wild bird and a giraffe and a hyena. Not so great. This is some more. This is when I got my print. Oh! Amy Tangerine got married! Yay! To the man that she's been with forever, a long time, and has her son with and everything. They got married on the 26th. It was on Instagram. She didn't call me or anything like that, although that would have been cool. But she has this camera that she talks about, the little print camera that works with iPhones, and that was when I first got it. So I printed out some pictures off of Google of just Safari images and little pictures that I've gotten out of a magazine. And the Sacramento River is, boy, this one's coming apart too. I really have to do something with my spines before I start these days. Everything. But this was kind of cool. My mother is from a family that farms in the San Joaquin Valley in California, which is vital, was vital to a lot of the United States for their crops, fruits and vegetables, not corn, that's more Midwest, and wheat and things like that, but fruits, vegetables, a lot. Not going to go about the political ramifications from all of that, but all of her uncles, just about, and aunts that married, I think it was just the uncles, had farms in the San Joaquin Valley. And the Sacramento River is part of that water system. And I talked about her summers spent down there with all of her cousins and playing in the canals and everything like that. And then I talked about us camping as kids along tributaries that fed into the Sacramento River, mainly the Feather River in Northern California. I grew up right across the Golden Gate Bridge, and we did a lot of camping, and I painted these trees and talked about a summer adventure we had on the Feather River as kids. I was trying to make little maps. The little town I grew up in called Novato, which is right across, this is San Francisco, that's the Golden Gate Bridge, then you have Sausalito, Mill Valley, Terra Linda, San Rafael, Terra Linda, and then you come into Novato. It's right before you get to the Sonoma County line. This is Marin County right here. My mom grew up in Oakland when it was safe to grow up in Oakland. And I just was trying to play with maps. I love maps. I had just gotten a gigantic map book from a thrift store, I think. Okay, then we went to the Amazon, and I did a lot of neat things here. Floating down the Amazon, bugs in, oh, this was great. Bugs in the Amazon, and then there was a lady in a Flow magazine picture that had this frog dress on, and I thought she belonged on the Amazon, so I made my own frog that looks like the frog on her dresses and put that in there. And this was my Piranha page. Now, I think in the beginning of this, or it may have been in the end of my Halloween, so all of these videos are on this channel previous. I think all of the River Journal ones are, because I've had 2 times where I've excuse me, I've lost my voice. I've taken things down because of family issues. Not going there. Voluntarily taken things down. So anyhow, I think this is all up now. Maybe not though. If I'm sorry if it's not. I tried to do a little montage of little tiny drawings as if I were in a Hobonichi, and my day on the Amazon, and a journal about the Amazon from a fictitious person. Orchids on the Amazon, which is a funny joke that Kurti and I talked about. That movie, that horrible movie. What is that big snake? Anaconda. So that's a snake, believe it or not. And I just did a bunch of wild stuff and then cut out pictures of orchids. This is my heron that I painted that I absolutely love, and I photocopied with cat pussy willows behind him. And some facts about the Amazon. And good Lord. Oh, this was the Missouri River. How come? Okay, oh no, Mississippi River. Okay, somehow I skipped a page here. I forgot I had done that. This is something about the river boats on the Mississippi River with Chinese newspaper just because I love foreign writing newspapers. This is not all done. St. Louis, that's the Mississippi. Maps of the river. Island number 10. Oh, I talked about island number 10. Was a battle along the Mississippi River close to Memphis in the Civil War. And my dad's great something or other. I can't remember how many greats, but it was his great-great-grandfather, give or take a few greats, was fighting in the north, and he was in the Battle of Island number 10. And then this was a lady out of Jane Davenport's paper tablet, and my heron showed up again, and she bent over and was painting, or petting the heron. Something about poppies, though. I can't remember. This is me in a library in one of my favorite places. That was a girl out of a Daphne's Diary magazine. The Mississippi River has a lot to be desired. I'll be seeing the Mississippi River in 4 weeks. Theoretically, depending on weather and how I have to travel. I'm going to the quilt retreat again, and I'm going to drive again. It takes me about 2.5 days to drive. Then we went down, okay, here's where the opium comes in. Then we went down the Yangtze River. So this is my 3rd European river, or world river. And I did a lot of Chinese looking things. This is when I first got my Woody Stabilo all Woody crayons. These big things. I love these things. Oh! I got a bunch of I can't even talk. Amazon gift cards. And I ordered, they should be here Tuesday, I think. This is Sunday, late afternoon. I ordered some oil pastels, and I ordered some ink, fluid ink, little bottles. So that I'm going to try those out next. This is another really, this is when I wrote Yangtze River like we did as kids, and then got it wet and folded the paper over and tried to have a mirror image. It didn't really work, but it was cool. This is paper that I made of my own. This is while I got lost in the opium den. I call these my opium den papers because I got kind of wild here. Those are the poppies that grow the opium. These were the ladies I saw in the opium den. I love doing these quirky character things. I love doing them out of just scraps that lay on your desk. I still have this duck or heron sitting here from this day, I believe. And I still want her to show up somewhere. But I don't know where. But I have not gotten rid of her because she just has to go somewhere. She talks to me a lot. Do you have people that talk to you in your journals? Ooh, maybe that's not something I should admit. Then I did some more stuff about the Yangtze River and displaced villages when they were building that dam. I did a thing about chopsticks, and that was kind of cool. Then I did some stuff about, then we were into, I got ahead of myself. I did page wrong. The Colorado River, which incorporates the Grand Canyon. And these were Indians along, I got my pages mixed up. These were Indians along the way. This is paper from Kirtie's journal that she made for me. She gave me some of the scraps. And I just started seeing Job on Job's journal doing the stuff with vellum. And I just stamped in Amy Tangerine's font Weaver there and had pictures from Google here. And Colorado. Okay, then I got into the Grand Canyon and the layers, and I did a layer page. And Four Corners area, which is just north of there, I think, but we did a lot of camping in this area as a kid. I kind of incorporated that. This was a sediment page, all these different layers, and I tried to make them look like the edge of the Grand Canyon rocks. Natives of color red were the native animals that are found in and around the Grand Canyon. That's a raccoon, believe it or not a hyena. I tried to do these Eric Carle way, that caterpillar guy on children's books, a spider, and a rattlesnake. Loose interpretations. This is where the Colorado River starts at the base of the Southern Rocky Mountains, and I did some stuff about explorers and different, the Western Continental Divide, just a bunch of facts. And then I did more about the first Americans and the Maricopa, Mojave, Havasu, and Wallapai Indians that live in and around the Grand Canyon, or did. And Monument Valley, which was used in Hollywood a lot, and that's where we ended it before Christmas started. And we are going to start the Ganges River tomorrow. This will be the Ganges River. Whew, this is a long video. So, 2017 is ending tonight. It ended last night for you. 2018 journal goals: to finish the river journal, to get my sketchbook project turned in, which they extended the date till April 31st. Thank goodness. It was March 31st, but they did that last year, so I was kind of thinking they would do it again this year. And I know what I'm going to do now. I've changed my mind 4 times, but I know what I'm going to do now. And I'm going to do a sample, a pre-sample of that with you guys, and then perfect it to this, which is what I did with my one last year, because I did a 100 years of national parks. All the national parks in the United States, that service had their 100th anniversary in 2016. So I did a big journal on that in 2016, and then I did a mini version of that here and turned it in. And then this year it's going to be a mini version of what my next project is after this. I think it's my next one. I have 3 big projects floating in my head. One of them, I amaze myself at my amazing capabilities, and I say that very loosely, but I had a brilliant idea, as one does, at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's what's going to go in my sketchbook project. But you got to come back tomorrow and I'll tell you all about it. Cliffhanger. Okay. Whew. That was a lot. Did I get any more art supplies for Christmas? My husband, I got a new pillow, 2 new pillows, because we are having a hard time with pillows these days as you get older. And we bought each other, or he got us, a set of really super amazing nice pillows. And I think they're working, because when you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, your shoulder blades and your shoulders and your neck should not be burning, aching, which is what was happening. I got him that outside sign that was from Bella. He had her paint me some pictures that were really sweet. We don't do big Christmas presents for each other. We would rather go on a trip together. We have got to go on a trip this year. We did not do it in 2017. We're both going stir crazy from it, I think. But we're talking about a garden trip in England, like English gardens. I don't know. Maybe not a Viking River cruise. We've done 4 Viking River cruises and we love them. But the oceanic cruises require a lot of flying for us, and we don't fly very well these anymore. My husband cannot be confined that long in a plane. I am not able to sleep on a plane, so I'm dead for 2 days when we get somewhere. And you usually don't have time to be dead for two days when you get somewhere. The last one we did was down the Danube, which was 2 years ago now. Oh, well, a year and a half ago. And that was amazing. We really want to do something in, like, China. We have some friends going to China again for the 2nd time. But it's just so blankety blank long to fly there. I don't know what we're going to do. And it's kind of been iffy with politics in the United States and their opinion of our politics around the world, which they're completely and utterly right about. Ooh, can I include these in my journal stacks? These are my planners. Ooh. well, I don't think this will be 2 more inches. Oh, it could be 2 inches. Holy moly. I'm going to call that good. I did make 2017, 17 inches. If I use my sketchbook project that I mailed off, and if I use these two, which this to me is still stuff, journals. Oh my God. I did make 2017. I started planning my river journal and that's how it's, no, my eclipse journal. I started planning a little bit in here. I don't plan ahead. This is as far as I've gotten. Okay, I did make 2017. To me, that's 2 more inches. We're calling it 17 for 2017. What am I going to do for 2018? It ain't going to be 18 inches. What? It's just as much fun. Come back tomorrow. Now I'm going to stop talking. Goodbye. So, thanks for watching. Come back tomorrow. See what I have planned for 2018. And Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the new subscribers. And leave me a comment. I'll try to remember to answer it.